Part 3 in our video series on how to buy a pre-owned car is definitely probably the funnest and most important step in the process of buying a pre-owned car, and that's actually the test drive. Now, when you come in for a test drive, obviously we all enjoy driving the cars. Everybody enjoys driving the cars, but there's a lot of things that sometimes people forget to look at, and we want you to know these things to look for when looking at a car, whether you're looking at our cars or somebody else's, because these are important things in making a determination as to whether or not this car is going to be the right car for you. Obviously, you're going to want to check things when you're driving the car. Make sure the car, feels comfortable to you, that the seats feel good. Do you take a lot of long trips? Does it have features like maybe lower lumbar support that helps support your back? Obviously the appearance features on cars, we definitely like that a lot of times. So really the first thing that you do when you're taking the car for a test drive is you actually do want to check the appearance of the car. So start maybe at the hood, walk around the back and look for things like damage, where there has maybe it shows signs of previous damage, somebody did a bad paint job repairing it, because all that can affect the value of a car. Look for things like dents and scratches. Definitely check the tires. Make sure that the tires are in great shape. You'll want to check when you're looking at tires, look from one side to the other side of the tire and make sure that the tire wear looks even on both sides of the tire, and that can tell you a lot as to whether the car needs to be realigned. Maybe a tire's out of balance. Those things can definitely affect the handling of the car. So walk around the car, check that out, look at the windshield, see if it's got any cracks. A lot of times you'll see cracks in the corner of a windshield that some people don't realize, so look for that. At our dealership, if there's a small peck in the windshield, we call a window shop and we have them come out, and they actually have a process that they can keep that from spreading. So if you see a chip like that, make sure you ask that dealer if that's been repaired, because if it hasn't been repaired, it could turn into being a whole windshield need to be replaced. And definitely, it costs about $30–35, I think, something like that, to have a windshield replaced. The dealership will do that if you ask them to, and that can save you a lot of money in the long run. Next thing, when you get inside, do a visual inspection on the interior. Maybe you're not a smoker. Maybe you want to make sure that it smells clean inside. You can look for signs of whether or not it's been smoked in. And occasionally you just find a car once in a while that maybe doesn't smell like smoke, but you can see like a sign of somebody having been smoking in the car. But also look at all the different panels on the car. Look in the back seat. A lot of times we are more focused on driving the car and we don't get in the back seat and check it out. Check out the back seat. Make sure that everything's good back there, so that way if you've got somebody riding along with you, they don't point something out. Hey, I didn't know. They point something out to you that you didn't even know existed back there. Look at the trunk. Make sure that the vehicle has spare tire and all the tools needed to change a tire. Last thing you want to do is buy a car, have a flat tire, and be stuck on the side of the road with no way to change it. So check for those things like that. Make sure when you start the car up, you turn the radio off and kind of listen to how the car starts. Maybe if it drags a little bit, it may need a battery or something like that. You can kind of listen for noise, and make sure that it doesn't have any weird noises. If it does have a weird noise, just ask what it could be. Sometimes belts will be bad on cars, they'll squeak. We have all these things checked out when we send it off to a shop, but these are just things I want you to know to look for when you're looking at and taking a car for a test drive. So when you go for a test drive, one thing you don't want to do is drive into, like, we're in Jonesboro. You don't want to go into the Jonesboro city limits, because you're going to get in there, you're going to have a lot of stop and go traffic. It's not really going to give you a chance to test drive the car. We have a little route that we take a lot of our customers on. We'll go out here on the bypass. The section of bypass out here in Jonesboro is one of the worst in the area. It's a very rough road. It's the best road to test drive cars, because you want to know how your car is going to ride in rough conditions. They all ride smooth on smooth, brand new asphalt, so take it out on the bad roads and find out how that car drives. And of course, this route here that we take, doesn't have much traffic. It allows you to check the brakes. If you're going to check the brakes, give it a good firm stop and check and make sure those brakes are going to stop you in case of an accident or somebody pulling out in front of you. You want to make sure that that car stops good. Also, when you're stopping, feel that pedal. Of course you'll have ABS kick in if the car's got ABS, but does it smooth stop, or does it kind of pull to one side or maybe jerk a little bit? That's a good way to check and make sure that the brakes are working good. Try some acceleration from a stop. How does the car accelerate from a dead stop, or maybe even running 30-40 miles an hour in case you had to maneuver around something. Check visibility, check for blind spots. A lot of times you can find out when you're checking for blind spots, and I've noticed this through a lot of years of test driving cars, that depending on where your seat is actually positioned can create a blind spot. So if you have a blind spot, you may even adjust your seat a little bit and see if that helps out. Just listen for engine noises, any weird engine noises. Ask, if the dealership that you're with, if the salesperson's with you, ask them what that noise might have been. See, check for passing acceleration. You don't necessarily have to pass, but it kind of talked about what I was talking about earlier from a rolling run. Get on the accelerator, make sure it feels good to you. We talked about braking and cornering. A lot of our routes here have some good cornering that you can kind of take the car from left to right and just get a good feel for it. Of course, the suspension, listen for any rattles and squeaks. If the car has a rattle and squeak, there may be something wrong. So that's definitely want to check on that. And of course, most importantly, and this is something that we let any one of our customers do here, maybe you've driven a car and everything was really good, but there was maybe just a squeak or something you couldn't quite figure out, and you wanted to get a third party independent opinion about that. Hey, we let our customers you can take it to your mechanic. If a dealership won't let you take a car to your mechanic to take a look at, you probably shouldn't buy a car there, because there's nothing better than a third-party independent opinion. And that's actually why we use a third party to actually check our cars out and make sure that they're safe and in good working order for the customers, because we don't want it to be a biased decision. We want those mechanics to really check this car out and make sure that the car's going to be a great car for our customers. So again, take some time, slow down. Obviously you're going to be enjoying the test drive. That's why they want you to go on test drive, but also use that time to check the car out and really just kind of focus and make sure that there's nothing wrong with the car. And like I said, if they won't let you take it, they won't let you take the car and let a mechanic look at it, you probably shouldn't be buying it. So if you have any other questions, give us a call here at Car Choice, 935-5200. This is again just step 3 in the car buying process. So I've got a lot more to go here, so keep looking for our videos. Appreciate you watching.